Hello guys, welcome to another Wrong Gamer video. I'm making this a video to actually talk about some thoughts I have regarding the new forging method, and I've been sort of going through Facebook, and I'm not sure how many of you follow me, but I have recently been posting some ideas which I think can be implemented to further improve our forging experience. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about some suggestions I have for improvement. I think it's about 11 suggestions that I have, and I will be listing them in this video. So do stay tuned if you're interested in that, and let me know in the comments what do you think about these suggestions, and if there's anything you want to add. It's always wonderful to do that. Now, before we do that, let's go. There's a pop-up here. There's a new event, a Relic Horde. So it's nice to see an event, obviously, but technically I wouldn't really call this an event because we are not actually working towards a goal. It is an event from all the text that's in there. You are able to do two pulls from what they call the regular horde and the exceptional horde. So you can either get you can now if you go back now, let's have a look at the possible relics. You can pick up runes, the banners, the orbs, and they say rare event relics. Interesting to see that head relic, head of Mimir, I think that's what's called. Good relic. That's probably the only one I don't have in this set. But okay, for those who really want to get those, here's your chance to play at the casino, as Game Rescue puts it in. So here you have the two ones. Your regular horde is the one with 5 combat relics. You get to pull one guaranteed 4-star. Now don't be sort of misled by the pictures there. In the back you can see a lot of orbs and runes. But there is someone on Facebook who did a pull for the 15 cross thing one, and although they say you're gonna get 3 4-star guaranteed, the 3 4-star guaranteed could be any 4-star relic and does not have to be the images that are listed in the picture. So the person, I believe, who did the 20k pull landed up getting a flame volley, like a 4-star flame volley. And I think there's a gilded arc in there. I can't remember the other one. So it's not a guaranteed, but yes, if you really want to splurge and you are only interested in getting some interesting relics, you might want to do this event. Personally, for me, I think this is quite an expensive way to go and try and get your orbs and runes. There are plenty of events that come around with these runes and orbs, and you can pick them along with some Force Titans on the way. So I would not recommend doing those pulls. But again, each to his own. If you find value in this, then go right ahead. Alright, so that's this event, and it goes on, I believe. Let's have a look at how long this event is for. Let's have a look. It's for about 20, I think it's almost 24 hours, so it's a day. So this event will end tomorrow, then obviously preparing us for the actual regular Thursday event, which I'm not sure what it's going to be. From what I understand, though, it will be a physical event, because we've been getting cold servings as a relic from the Theaters of War event. Yeah, that should be quite fun. Alright, so now let's talk about what I really wanted to make this video about. It's relic forging. So some of us like it, some of us don't like it. Relic forging, the update, they have gotten rid of all the probabilistic way of leveling relics. So what I mean by that is, there as before, you would throw in a bit of relics, there's a percentage chance, and if your stars align correctly on the day, you get a success and your relic upgrades by a level instantly. But now it's a progression-based system, and so you have to throw in other relics, in order to hit a particular XP mark to actually level your relic up. Now, I find this is a good method if you like certainty in things. I do like certainty in things as well. But initially, when this came out, my thoughts were, well, looking at the 4-star relics that I have, it takes a whole lot of relics to actually get a 4-star level 1 relic right up to the top. So it is a considerable effort. But then as I began to think about this more, I think, well, it does take a lot of time. But then if one can put in the grinds, it may not be the worst forging system solution. That said, I think there are ways in which we can improve this relic forging experience. First of all, I'd like to talk about the first session I have is, now look at this, right? I'm going to try and forge my venom seed. So it's at level 4. So what do then? You hit the forge button. You find the 4 things that you want to fuse into it. So just for the moment here, I'm going to go through this and going to try and find out. Look what's happening here. I'm having to scroll and scroll and scroll, and this has been something which is an issue for people like me and more experienced players who've been collecting all these relics year on year. So you get a lot of relics, so it's hard to find the relics you want to fuse away. So a simple solution, this is my first suggestion for improvement, would be to add a simple scroll button, right? So just imagine a left and right arrow which is placed somewhere on the screen. So if you tap and hold that arrow, you are able to navigate right or left of the screen quicker than what you could do by doing what I'm doing at the moment now, by swiping my thumb from right to left. Right? That could be a simple one. Now let's say I found something I want to fuse into this. So I'm going to choose this giant axe. So this giant axe is at level 1. I do not really need any more of those. I'm probably going to fuse away one of these. Let's see what that is. If it's just a physical one, it's a physical one. So I don't want that, right? So okay, so I don't need another holy blade. I've got a few holy blades. So I've thrown in 3 stars. I'm probably going to throw in another ice ring as well. I don't need another ice ring. Yeah, too many of those. Alright, so you're going to select, what I've done is I've selected 4 of the relics, which is good. But hey, why not give us an option to be able to forge in more than 4 relics at a time, right? I mean, I don't think there's anything particularly complicated in their programming they got to do to make this happen. And this applies even for Titan, when you're trying to fuse Titans to level them up, right? Titan fusion as well. So this could apply to that as well. So that's my second suggestion, is to have more than 4 relics be available for forging in. Alright, so let's do the fusion now. Now also, what you can notice is, you can see this, now we require food, and food was always required, of course, to forge things. But now we require food, not only for, considerable amount of food, not only for forging, but also for our regular Titan fusions. So what's happened now is, gold is something which isn't really utilized for anything much more than pretty much upgrading buildings, which, if you are like me, I'm castle level 22 guy, I have a lot of buildings already already upgrading. I really don't have anything to do, so my gold just piles up and piles up and piles up. So I would like, rather than me having to use food, why not have gold be the currency to do the forging? And it makes sense to me, to be honest. When you're trying to forge something, how does it make sense? It's going to require food. Like in normal forges, it probably would be an actual money-based system, or like a gold system, right? So I think it makes sense for this to be a gold base. So that's my third suggestion, to have gold instead of food, as the way as a currency for foraging. All right, now let's do the foraging now. Yes, I'll sacrifice that. Good to have that thing there. Now notice the number of screens that one has to see after the forging is done. Uh, right, it's useful to see what the relic has gone up to. I get that, right? But all of these screens can be, there should be an option to just skip it if you want. So give us an option to skip these forging screens, because if you ask me, I'm going to be doing a lot of fusion for a relic that I want to level up, and I'm going to be constantly scrolling, trying to find things to put in. So really what I don't want to see is at the end is to wait and wait for the screens to change. So give me a skip option, and or just reduce the number of forge screens. So that's my next suggestion for this. All right. Now the other thing I had is, now let's say I'm going to go into battle. All right. Let's say if I go into battle with my Ladega with this Venom Seed on. Now we all know that when you have your Titan, all Titans have an XP. You take your Titan into battle, and as you take your Titan into battle, it gains XP over time. Okay. Now, although it may not make complete logical sense, but I think it might be a good idea to apply the same XP, or not the same XP, but maybe a different amount of XP to the relics that one takes into battle. Okay, it could be a small amount. I'm not really asking for an amount which is maybe as large as what you get from fusing 3-star and 4-star relics into this relic of this sort, but a little bit, maybe, I don't know, something around 50 or 100 XP for the relic. I'm not sure what the amount should really be, but that would be useful. So that's my next suggestion, to have some XP for the relic that's not leveled to be included in this relic forging change. So that's my next suggestion. Now the other suggestion I have is, allow us to, when we're doing a forge, so for example when I'm doing a forge, give us an option to click an auto forge option, auto forge button. So what that means is, the moment you hit an auto forge button, it will automatically, or autofill rather, right? Not auto forge, but autofill. So what it'll do is it'll fill up your 4 relic slots, or ideally, if my earlier suggestion was taking on board, that it will fill up more than 4, maybe up to 8 relics which are 1 or 2 stars in your inventory. Alright, it fills them up automatically, and then what you could do is tap and remove the ones which you do not want to have. This way you can do your forging much quicker, and that will make for a more enjoyable experience, in my opinion. So that's my next suggestion. Now the other one I think I have here is quite obvious. Like we have Titan fusion events, it'd be nice to now see a relic forging boost event. So during these events, just like how we have for Titan XP events, that during these times there would be extra XP gained from forging relics. And I think this is probably something the devs are probably likely going to do, but I just thought I'd include this anyways, in case it doesn't happen soon enough. So this is on record, in a way to say. Okay, so that's my next suggestion. Now the other one I have is to do with the fact that every time we do the forge, okay, it takes a while. It's going to take us a while to get a relic like this one to level 10, right? So for example, if I start with my Vambrace, which is level 1 at the moment, it's going to take me a while, right, to actually get this to level 10. So for me as a player who's going to invest a lot of time into this, into kind of leveling this up to 10, it would be nice to have some goal to work towards, in the sense, let's take an example. So if you manage to get let's say 10 4-star relics to level 10, give us some gems for it, like an achievement, right? Unlock an achievement, so you get maybe 200 gems, something small, something for a token, but something which will make us feel, hey, yeah, there's a certain thing we have gained. We have reached a particular milestone, and milestones and achievements always help players remain engaged. And this will definitely, for sure, push the new players who are joining in to remain more motivated to continue playing the game. Okay, now the other one I want to talk about is this big issue of relic storage. So we all know that if you gem it out like I have for the relic storage, your relic storage can only go up to a maximum of 500 relics. Now that might seem a lot for the new players, and you might think, well, why does someone need more than 500 relics? The fact is, and as many of the more experienced players will agree, you would like to keep multiple copies of some of the same relics, and with new relics and coming out in events every week, we are going to run out of relics. So, given that's happening, here's a solution which could at least help with this problem. So, now many of us do the forging. What if once you get a 4-star relic or even a 3-star relic to level 10, you have to forge it right till the end, and once you do this particular relic will now move to a different sort of inventory. Maybe it will be called the the maxed relic inventory or something, and then these relics would not be counted into the 500 relics. Okay, so to explain it further, if you manage to max out 20 4-star relics, then these 20 relics would not be included in the 500 count. So you would so instead of having 500 out of 500, you will now have 480 spaces occupied out of the 500. So the more and more you get your relics maxed to level 10, the more relic storage you build up eventually. And this is kind of similar to what you might experience for online sort of cloud storage devices, right? Like for example, Google Drive and all of these. The more you store files in, it tries to expand your storage space to meet your requirements. So this is what I'm getting at. That's my next suggestion for improving the relic forging. I think, let me see if I have any more at this point. Yes, I think that's pretty much it, guys. I think there might be a few more I have, but I can't pull it out of my head. But if you are interested, please go on to the Facebook page, the community page for Dawn of Titans, the largest one out there with about close to 9,000 members. I am an active contributor to that page, and you can find me as Ron Gmer. That's RON space GMER. I'll try and put a link in the description, so do check me out, and feel free to contribute. Let me know what you think of these changes that I just suggested, and what else do you think we can do to make our relic forging experience more enjoyable, less stressful, and yeah, help us in the long run. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you were able to stay on this long. It is a relatively long video, but all that said, I always appreciate your audience. I will catch you in another Ron Gamer video.